Hello, my name is Sarah Thompson from the City of Casey. I'm going to be running through how to apply for our equipment and training grant program using our online grant system through Smarty grants. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. So you can either type in the City of Casey website or Google City of Casey. And once you're on the page, it's just casey.vic.gov.au. Once you're on the page, you can go over to this right-hand side, City and Council, and then use your cursor to go over to the left-hand side down near the bottom and click on Community Grants. This will take you to our main grants page, which lists all of our grants that we have available. And up the top is equipment and training grants. So this page explains to you the information about the grant program. It is our guidelines and includes our criteria. So if you scroll down and read the information on this page, it talks to you about who can apply, what we fund and what we don't fund, and how we decide on the successful grants. So the criteria within the guidelines. Okay, so if we go to and click on the Apply Online button here, it will take you to the Smarty Grants main page where you can either click on Start a Submission or log in. Both options will take you to this main page. If you haven't already applied for a grant before using our Smarty Grant system, you can register by clicking on this Register button. If you've already logged in before, you can go over to this left-hand side and type in your email address, so which is I'm going to do now. And then your password. Make sure you get it right. There we go. So I have already gone in once before and it's created an application for me. So I'm going to go to My Submissions and find the grant that I'm looking for. Or you can start a new submission for equipment and training grants. So it will tell you that you've already, that your submission number is ET21-22-005, and then go to your next page. So this is the start of the application form. At any time you can log out or go back to your submissions, which lists all of your applications there. On the right-hand side is a navigation page. So this will, you can go jump to different versions or different areas of the application form. So you might want to go straight to the budget and it'll take you to the page with the budget. Or you might want to go straight to the organisation description and income and it'll take you to that area. The other way of navigating through the page is if you start at the start and start filling out the questions and then keep clicking next page. So you just fill in the information as requested on the form. These asterisks means we do require an answer, otherwise the form won't be able to be submitted. So you will put in your organisation name and then start filling it out as you go, how often you meet, your website address. So if there's not a red asterisk, we would like the information, but if you don't have it, then that's fine. We do recommend as you go, you click on this Save Progress. So just if you happen to get logged out, that the information that you've put in is in there. And then you can also save and close and come back to it at a later date. So next page. So we ask for your details about the contact person. So these details here are who we will email about the grant. So it's important to make sure all this information is correct. And this is the person that will receive the email with the outcome of your grant or if we require further information from you. Then we ask you to add in a second person from your organisation's details, just in case we can't get in contact with the first contact, and just so that another person is aware of this application being made. So next page. Then we have information about your legal status, so whether or not you're incorporated or you're auspiced or you might be a church. If you do have an incorporation number, you can enter it in here. And then your ABN if you have one. If you put in your ABN number in this and press lookup, this information will automatically be populated based on the information that's in the ABR for your organisation. This is where you put in your public liability insurance, so how much coverage you have. You just type in a number, and then you can attach your certificate of currency using this button here. So you click on the browse, it will take you to the files within your computer, sorry. And then you can choose a document to add in here. If you've realized you've accidentally uploaded the wrong document, you can remove it and then start again. Or your document might be in a couple of pages saved separately, so you can add a second and a third document to this section by just continuing to click the browse button. So save progress or save and close if you want to come back. You might need to get this document from someone else, so you might want to come back to it. And then just keep clicking through the form. This information is only required if you're being auspiced. So if you tick the button to say you're being auspiced, this information would be able to be filled out, but because I haven't clicked it, it's not available. So we just click through and ignore it. So we ask you for a brief description of your organisation and its activities, when you're established, how many active members and how many are from Casey, and just some information about your income. So you can either list it in this box here or attach your financial records if you've got them in a separate document. So now we're asking you how much you're requesting. You can apply for between $100 and $1,000, whether you want equipment or volunteer training, and just a short description. So when we present the information to our panel for making decisions about who receives the grant, it's got a short title to say first aid training or kitchen equipment or sporting equipment, something just that really helps us to identify quickly what it is you're looking for. And then information about why this is needed. So why is it essential to the program? How does it assist your group to build its capacity and become more sustainable and inclusive? Who will benefit? And how often the equipment will be used if you're applying for equipment and where it will be stored. If you're applying for volunteer training, please name the volunteers that are completing the training. And then when you wish to spend the grants by, when you hope to spend the grants money by if you're successful. So this section is about the budget. So here we're asking you to fill out the details. So you might be applying for kitchen equipment and we ask you to be a bit specific if you can. So you might be asking for pots and pans and then the amount that this costs on this hand side. Cutlery. And as an example, it'll automatically add up for you. See here, it's already added up to 600. So it should match that last question asking how much you were, the question about how much you were hoping to apply for. So then we ask you to apply quotes. So it might be a picture of a brochure that you found or online. You might have looked up the amounts online, a screenshot of from a website of a company or a shop that you're wanting to buy these items from, or if you're doing training, the organisation that's providing the training might have provided you with a quote. So any information just to show us that you understand how much these actually are and that you've researched what you need. We also ask a question, if only part funding request is allocated, will this expenditure go ahead? So if the panel decides to only say they might only fund the pots and pans and cutlery and give you $400, can you go ahead with this? So yes, no, and what's the minimum? So you might not be able to go ahead with anything less than 400, so you could put 400 is your absolute minimum that you would accept. If it is 600 or 1,000, then you can put that in too, that's fine. Okay, so then we ask you to put in your bank details so that if you are successful, we can just pay you straight away without having to come back and ask you for your bank details. And here is some questions. Just by putting your name in down here, it's like signing it to say that you're authorised to apply for this grant on behalf of your organisation, that you affirm that all the details are correct to the best of your knowledge, and you agree to adhere to the conditions as outlined in the grant guidelines. And then you pop your name in there. Then what will happen is it'll take you to a review and submit. So if you've missed any of the red asterisk questions, it'll show you down here. Because I haven't filled out the form, there are going to be lots here. So you can go to the page and then it'll take you to that section where you can fill out the details required. Then you can go back to the review and submit page and keep going to the page that you need to make sure you've filled out everything. So this gives you a list, the application in full, and all the sections that you need to go back to fix. And you won't be able to submit your application until there's no more red sections or go-to pages there. So once this is all ready to go, you can download a PDF of your answers, and you may want to save this and send it to other committee members that they might want to have a look and make sure they're happy with it, or you might just want to have a record of it before you submit it. So once all these red fix up areas are gone, this blue button will then become the same as this, and you'll be able to press submit. Once you've pressed submit, you won't be able to go back and amend it. It'll be final and it'll be emailed through to us. You will also get an email copy of it, a PDF of your completed application to keep on record. We do recommend that you save that so that you can forward it on to other committee members. If you leave the organisation, there's a record of it somewhere. So as I said, you can navigate the application form by this right-hand navigation form, save progress, save and close to come back to. So you can log out and then come back in at any time. So we'll log out for the moment. And this takes you back to the main page. So if you want to go back in, you can log back in. It's a good idea to write these details down if you are sharing this role with someone else, that they might be able to log in, because at the end you'll need, if you are successful, you'll need to acquit. So it's important that if you move on, that other people are able to go in and acquit for your grant. So again, we're going to go into my submissions, because clicking on this will start a new submission. So you want to go back into my submissions and find the equipment. So I've already done that twice. So you may find you accidentally start a few submissions and it'll be empty. To get into the one, if you have saved and closed and coming back to it, you need to go to my submissions and then find the most recent application and go back and continue to complete that form, and then go through the process, review and submit, and then submit. If you have any questions at all, you can always contact one of the grants officers. Just call in the main number 9500 5200. No, sorry, 9705 5200, or by emailing communitygrants@casey.vic.gov.au, and we can help you out with your form and your application. So we'll log out there and then take you back. Thank you for your time today. And as I said, please get in contact if you have any questions or need any assistance, and we'll be more than happy to help. Thank you.